This case had many issues that caused the hubbub. I'm going to discuss a few of the basic issues that have to deal with marketing in general, and your submissions will deal more with what happened. The brand. Budweiser has long been known as the king of beers. This is the rule of branding. If you're a leader, advertise the fact that you are a leader. What we find is that when consumers come to the marketplace, they will tend to gravitate to the leader. In effect, other brands that advertise and try to get interest of other consumers to come to the market are really advertising for the brand leader too. Budweiser also owned the word beer in the mind of the consumer. Particularly when a consumer sees the Budweiser or Bud name, they will think beer, specifically domestic beer. In other words, Bud or Budweiser means beer. Budweiser engaged in a strategy of brand extension. This is where you take a well-known brand that is well received by the marketplace and add another property to the brand. In our case, Bud added light to make Bud Light. This is in response to Miller producing the light beer for overweight males that didn't want to cut back on their beer consumption. The market tended towards lower calorie beer, and Budweiser won with Bud Light. So Budweiser was able to respond to a social trend and maintain its dominance with Bud Light. Here's the sticking point with brand expansion. Once it is tainted, all of the brands using the same name are tainted. Bud Light was boycotted and lost customers, as well as other products using the regular Bud, Bud Light Seltzer, etc. names. Interesting, Michelob brand products and other InBev products did not take a hard hit. They weren't under the Budweiser blanket, so the consumer had to research to find out what related brands were part of InBev. I would say that the backlash targeted Budweiser named products and specifically Bud Light. Interestingly, the Bud Light consumers moved towards the next popular brand, Coors Light. Bud Light was knocked off the perch of #1 beer sold in America and was replaced by Modelo. Notice that Modelo is part of InBev but is not distributed by InBev in North America. This is a rarity that brand leaders rarely give up leadership, and InBev did in the United States. The consumer. According to research by Gallup in 2021, beer is mostly consumed by men between 18 and 34, not college educated, and those with less income than $40,000 and between $40,000 and $999,000. This is the base customer for beer and would reflect their preference for Bud Light in great numbers. One of the issues that caused hot water was the Vice President of Marketing framing that Bud Light customer is a fratty and kind of out-of-touch humor. The customer base did not agree and did not appreciate being kicked. Her job was to appeal to a new customer base because you have to sell a new generation on your product every generation. She wanted to introduce new storylines, have the brand stand for something, make the brand inclusive, and would appeal more to women. One of the appeals was the Dylan Mulvaney promotion that promoted Cheers to 365 days of being a girl. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, but that was about the end of the patience that the typical beer drinker, Bud Light drinker would take. They had been taking shots for being out of touch, old, uneducated, and now their brand, they were loyal to this product, and they would see it as an extension of themselves, was telling them that women could be men and men could be women. Not being trapped in a university classroom allowed them to quit and show their disapproval by simply quitting the brand and going to another one. Painfully as it may be, it had to be done in their mind. The conclusion. As marketers need to continue to generate new customers, even if we are an iconic brand, Every new generation has to be engaged and convinced of the merits of the product. It looks like InBev was trying to reposition Bud Light to attract those new customers, but did so in a way that alienated the existing customers and knocked Bud Light out of their leadership position. Sometimes a brand outlives its usefulness. Sears was the largest retailer in the world not that long ago, and now they don't exist. Customers thought of the brand a particular way, and Sears couldn't reposition themselves to attract a new generation. I doubt beer is on the way out, but InBev tried to reposition a brand that was too entrenched to ignore the current customer base. I doubt Bud Light will ever be at the top of the heap again. I'll leave you with this. 1. Know your brand. What does it stand for? 2. Know your customer. What do they believe and stand for? And 3. Don't dabble in political, religious, or social issues unless your brand and customer are truly represented by those issues.